wrestling fans, that's right. This is Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, and you're actually listening to the WNS Podcast.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
Tyler Abear. I'm Doug.
And welcome to episode 204 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast. Damn.
We're on Stitcher, Player.fm, and holy shit, I forgot the other one. Stitcher, Player.fm, and holy moly, I cannot remember my shit.
I know the answer.
I know the answer.
Beyond Pod.
Yay!
Search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us. Oh,
there you
shit.
go.
Where's
Pod's
my
gonna be
brain
pissed off at you.
Do they listen to this podcast?
Maybe.
They don't.
Follow us on Twitter.
Those
at,
who do listen.
At WNS Podcast. At WNS_Daniel. At Tyler_Abear.
You're forgetting people, Tyler. You can't be doing that.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
So welcome to the show. Got quite a bit to talk about. Gonna dive into some feedback, discuss Raw, the Slammies, the fun that was, give you our TLC predictions,
The Slammies.
some hot topics, Q&A, much more. Really? You can't let that go? Just
No.
let it die.
No.
Let it die, please. So, anywho, so welcome to the show. How you guys doing? Tyler, you doing all right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I know your back's bugging you a
I hurt
little
my
bit.
lower back.
Stop hurting yourself.
I don't know what the fuck I did.
Yeah.
That's not what you're doing. That's what you are.
Oh, I'm a vagina. That's why I hurt my back. What a pussy.
Yeah. Got your wedding pictures taken?
Yeah.
All right. You excited about that?
I am actually. I know it sounds well, it's not weird, but like we had 3 different outfits to wear, and one of them was a suit, and this is the first time to wear a suit. Like I bought it like a few months ago, and I felt pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Joe Cool?
Like, yeah.
Avero Suave?
This is gonna sound so stupid. You're gonna laugh at me. I kind of like on certain poses or whatever. Kind of feel like a model a little bit. I'm not a model because I'm not. I don't.
Did you have sunglasses on?
No.
You should have worn sunglasses.
On certain things.
You should have been like posing, like.
I wanted to
hand
laugh
on your
because certain things he
chin
was like, okay, unbutton the jacket part and put your hand in your pocket and put the jacket a little back and like I don't know. I don't know. That's what I felt like a little bit. It was just.
Did
You'll
he
see the
later on
picture
say
soon.
like, okay, now unbutton your pants a little
Unbutton your
bit, and like
pants.
let me see the bottom half of your drawers, and like go ahead and just like spread your cheeks a bit and lean over.
I think you're taking advantage of me, sir. No.
It's like, hey, you're paying me for this.
Good times.
Yeah. Don't tell the adults though, or you'll get in trouble. Don't do that. It's terrible.
No, but I had a fun time.
Oh, good. Glad. So you're one step closer to saying I do and saying farewell to the single life forever.
Yeah.
Till death do you part.
Guys at work are like, they laugh. They're like, haha. It's like, you still have time to back out.
Yeah? Well, I mean, there's always time to back out.
There's always
but
time to back out.
I don't think you will.
One guy's like, it's like, I can't wait to go to your stand-up funeral.
Yeah. People are weird.
Where'd you come up with that one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That sounds lame to me.
Yeah. Pretty lame. Doug, how you doing?
I don't know. I'm watching the clock tick down towards the death knell of our podcast.
You think that this is gonna cause the end?
Well, I think that one of you fucks is gonna get lazy, and you're gonna end up knocking your chicks up, and then you're not gonna be able to do it.
I think as long as I'm working here, then I've got a shot of keeping the podcast going. Now, other people, you never know.
You just point to yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was pointing through me to you.
That means you.
No.
I don't know. I'm skeptical. Let's see.
Other people.
See how you guys handle it.
Through
Yeah.
the butthole.
Yeah, handle it through the butthole. You good at that?
I'm not gonna be done unless y'all are done or whatever.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm, as long as
All right.
it's going on, I'm here.
As long as we're contractually obligated, which we're not. We could quit whenever we want.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
Want to start another podcast too? We'll talk about toys.
yeah. There we go. And
Toys podcast.
you know, it'd be.
Tyler, you're not even watching Raw to talk on this fucking podcast.
We could call it the Pappy Podcast.
Pappy.
Pappy. You never know. Instead of dad or daddy. Plus, I want to go with like something podcast. Pappy Podcast.
I hate that. I hate like all
Welcome to
the
the show. We're going to talk to you about formula and
Oh,
how
gosh.
to properly change a diaper. You ready for that, Tyler? You ready
No.
to be like waist deep in poo? Or wrist deep?
I throw poo at your face.
No, why would you do that? That's terrible. That's
I
unsanitary.
don't know. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Pappy sounds stupid. Like wow, I hate that word.
Oh.
Pappy sounds like old school. Like, oh man, that is my pappy.
Me and
I
my old
don't know.
pappy. Yeah.
Most of those like type of words sound stupid, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess what I'm trying
It's
to
the
say
parent,
is
the parenting podcast.
Just call me dad.
Who's your daddy? So,
email your resumes for the spinoff show.
hosted by Doug.
Yeah, I'm taking resumes for guest hosts for the spinoff show.
Any qualifications?
Don't be fucking lame.
Preferred knowledge of the wrestling business. Major plus. So
You have one on backup. You have one guy on backup.
yeah. You got Noah. Anytime you
Not
need him.
Noah.
Oh.
I meant Ryan.
Oh, yes, Ryan as well. Unless he decides to move, which I think he was still talking about maybe doing that.
Okay.
Moving to San Francisco back one day. Hope it doesn't happen. That'd be kind of a bummer. But we'll have to see. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. Before we get things going, I would like to address an issue that occurred over the course of the week. I know we had some people reach out to us, letting us know that
This sounds serious. Is everything okay?
oh, everything. Well, yes, it will be. It's
Okay.
something that you responded to as well. It is the iTunes situation that we
You made
have
it.
going on.
You made it seem like a serious deal.
It
I
is
got your back,
serious.
Daniel. I got your
This
back. What's
is
up?
this is keeping listeners from hearing the beautiful sounds of our
I
voices.
thought it was like, this is keeping them up at night. I was like,
Yeah, well, that too, because they're trying to find out what's going on. Apparently, what's going on is we're having some technical issues with iTunes. We don't know what the deal is. I talked to Ben several
they're giving
times.
up on us.
Yeah. I've talked to Ben several times about this over the course of the week. He has uploaded, re-uploaded, re-uploaded the show, trying to get it going.
Also, inversely. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, he tried to fix the issue to where it was playing the correct episode. For some reason or another, it was playing last week's episode. So we don't know what the situation was on that. When it originally was released, it was having the same effect on Stitcher. However, when Ben first re-uploaded it, Stitcher came through just fine, leaving iTunes being the only server that was not playing the correct episode. So, for those of you who are listening on iTunes, if for some reason by Wednesday, unless we specify that we're not recording the show on Tuesday nights, which we normally do, if we're pushing it back, we'll make a post on our Facebook page letting everyone know. So if the show does not pop up on Wednesday or even Thursday for that matter, check YouTube, check Stitcher, because
YouTube's never let you down.
YouTube, we uploaded ourselves directly. So if the show is uploaded, it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be the correct episode.
I don't know the full details about Beyond Pod. I know that
We just know that they're hosted there.
Yeah, we know
So you
that
have
we're
other
on there.
options.
Yeah, because I have the Chromecast and I have Beyond Pod on that, and I know that we were on there. And when I checked it, that was a while back. We were updated, so I mean,
Yeah.
we've been on
The thing about those, like, you're not submitting to them. They're taking.
They're
it off
pulling
the
from
feed.
ours, yeah.
So if our feed's fucked, they're not gonna have the rights.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And that's how it is with iTunes and Stitcher. We upload the episode to the website, and then iTunes and Stitcher takes the episode from there and distributes it on their servers.
If you're feeling frisky,
Frisky.
And it's probably not the best thing to say or whatever,
Ooh.
but type in Wrestling News Source Podcast on Google and see what other websites have
See
us
what
on there.
pops up.
Because I've done that recently, and there's more websites with us on it. We're like, where the fuck did they just pick us up?
One place or another, we show up. So, but yeah, we do apologize for any inconvenience. We do understand, issues do come up. We try and take care of it the best we can. Unfortunately, there's only so much that we can do.
I know that YouTube is not the ideal listening source if you're on the go, if it's a mobile thing. But if you are actually looking for the show and you're actually like, I want to hear the show, which I can't imagine who the fuck that would be. But if in that case, like, YouTube will have the show. It may suck to have to listen on YouTube on a mobile device, but it will be there.
Or check Stitcher, because I know Stitcher, the app is free to download. It'll play, like, you can close out your screen and the audio will still continue to play. So you would have to stop it, as opposed to YouTube when, the screen goes dark, audio cuts out.
Not anymore.
Oh, really? They fixed that?
I mean, I don't know if it's like a iOS thing or if it's like a model thing, but as far as the iPhone goes, like, I have the 5S, and it's like, you can like blacken the screen and it will still play YouTube without showing.
I'll have to check that out.
I don't know if it's an iOS update or if it's a model thing, but
I'll have to see.
I don't know about Droid though.
Yeah. So we would highly recommend you either subscribe to YouTube WNS Video or download the Stitcher app and check it out as well. Just for convenience as a backup plan. So for those of you who are listening on iTunes, and for those of you who are subscribed on YouTube and Stitcher, we certainly appreciate it, as well as Beyond Pod and Player.fm. So like I said, if you do encounter an issue like that and we haven't posted anything about it, like if we're not saying, hey, this week's episode is going to be delayed a day, then check with either YouTube or Stitcher, because those are probably the number 1 and 2 places to find the show. So I just wanted to talk about that, before we got rolling, for those of you who had been wondering. So so time to dive on into some feedback. First bit of feedback we have is from 6-Star Criminal, saying, I play all the matches on all the cards in my universe mode too, though I pick all the winners randomly, which adds a little bit more fun into it. I recommend it if you're getting bored or in a creative slump.
That's what I mainly do.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I liked other modes and stuff, but I'm usually universe mode and playing through the matches like
Nice.
Doug does.
Very cool.
I mean, I usually play. Well, actually, I had been going through the
Showcase.
The showcase. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I've been going through the showcase, the Punk and Cena one, and I got to this like particular match where I think it was Del Rio cashing in his Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, and every time I hit that match in that scenario, and I did it twice in a row, in the exact same match, exact same spot, exact same move. I climbed the upper right turnbuckle with Del Rio, and it like froze my game, and it wouldn't even like turn off. I had like hard set. I couldn't even like get out of the game or anything. I had to like hard shut down the fucking PS4.
Damn.
It was pretty scary. I thought I bricked my shit for a while, but
It's pretty scary.
I don't know, it's weird.
So
Weird scenario.
But yeah, so good stuff. So thanks for the feedback. Next bit of feedback we have is from Richard, saying, I kind of miss Triple H. The whole Raw GM thing is stupid. I am a Cena fan, but I hope Triple H is brought back sooner rather than later. Maybe Triple H versus Sting at Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania for control of WWE. Whatever WWE decides to do, a couple of things they need to do is have Lesnar drop the title to Cena at the Rumble, then have Rollins cash in on Cena, have Reigns win at the Rumble, and then go on to defeat Rollins at Mania. This way, everybody gets what they want. As for Lesnar, send him back to the UFC and be done with him. # Cena, # 999. So, any thoughts on that, guys? Nope. Okay. So, but thanks for the feedback. Next bit of feedback we have is from Mark saying, another great podcast, guys. Doug, you're awesome. I'm not offended if you don't know my name. I'm a former hardcore video gamer. I understand the pressure of focusing on laying the smacketh down. Thanks for answering my question, guys. I appreciate everything about Sting. I agree with everything about Sting. The music, the bat, the hair, etc. Doug, you're now good for 8 months, not 6 months.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to address them then because I don't have to.
Well, all right then. So thanks for the feedback. Time to dive on into the Raw Go Home show.
You guys have to, not me.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm exempt.
Appreciate it. So the Go Home show before TLC and S, or whatever it is they're calling it. The Slammies. Yay! A lovely distraction from the pay-per-view rather than fully selling the pay-per-view itself, hosted by none other than Seth Green. We kick things off with Seth Green being introduced, saying how excited he is to be there. Miz comes out with Mizdow saying, oh, well, I've been trying to get in touch with you as a fellow A-lister. We need to collaborate on something. Seth Green's like, no, you're not the guy I want to work with. Mizdow, this is the guy. This is the star. We need to be, working together. So, Doug, what do you think of this little opening segment thing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that I have anything to say about it.
How did it turn out?
Meh.
Did Miz and Mizdow fight?
No. It was, it was just weird. So, that's pretty much how they kicked it off. We got to see Seth Rollins going up against Dolph Ziggler in the opening contest. Fairly short matchup, especially since they went to commercial, as they tend to do. Seth Rollins ends up getting the victory over Dolph after J&J Security caused a little bit of distraction. What do you think of the matchup?
Well, I'm going to give you some real talk right here.
Real talk.
The realest talk. So
the realest.
So if you don't want to hear the realest talk, then you're going to mute your ears for about 30 seconds. I didn't get off until 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to get food.
Mm-hmm.
Then I rushed home to eat it real fast before Raw started.
Real talk.
So when they went to commercial, which it was about, I don't know, a couple of minutes into the match,
mm-hmm.
that's when it hit. Had to run to the bathroom. Didn't make it out until the Kofi Stardust match. So I don't know what happened between they went to the commercial and happened to
So things happened.
Things happened.
And,
I didn't see them.
We were unable to watch the match.
Right.
Okay, no problem. I thought the match was okay. Both guys did a good job. But, like I said, J&J Security caused the distraction, getting Seth Rollins the win. And then they announced...
Talking about shitting.
Yes, yes, you were. So then they announced the This Is Awesome moment of the year, which Sting won.
What was all the options, or what was the pick from?
I don't remember. You have to go online and search all that. I didn't type it all out.
Sting a clear-cut winner?
They didn't show a percentage or anything. They just pulled an envelope open and said, "Oh, Sting for the This Is Awesome moment of the year for for appearing at Survivor Series."
That happened yesterday.
Yeah. So Seth Rollins not too happy about that, saying Sting is the reason why Triple H isn't here. Sting is the reason why Stephanie's not here, and the Authority is gone, and so it's all Sting's fault. So Rollins took the trophy and ran with it.
Booked.
So that takes us to the next matchup. Stardust with Goldust in his corner going up against Kofi Kingston with the New Day in his corner. Another fairly short match. All the matches this week were fairly short.
There's nothing match-wise that was long enough to rate.
Yeah. So we'll kind of just breeze through these, just let you know what happened in case you missed it. Kofi ends up getting the win off of, what was it, like a crossbody, I think?
It was a crossbody.
Yeah, very unusual. I know it's sudden, or it hasn't been around too long, but what are your initial thoughts, your knee-jerk reaction to the New Day so far?
Well, they really haven't, as far as like the gimmick, they haven't really played it up much other than the fact that they sort of like sing together after the match is over.
Yeah, they sing the New Day, then fans chant New Day.
Yeah, it's like a call and response type thing. Yeah, so
but they haven't done any promos.
No.
So it's hard to get a read for what this gimmick means.
It's is there a purpose to what they're doing, or is it we're just three guys who were lost and now we're working together to try and better ourselves, or you know, I'm. You know,
I guess time will tell.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things we'll have to just see where they go. But you know, for the moment, you know, it seems like we're gonna take you away for a while, and then we're gonna put you back where you were. Except y'all gonna have matching tights, and y'all gonna come out to one theme instead of 3. So that's what I'm gathering so far. I don't feel like there is a big initial plan. It was just, okay, well, you know, we're just going to throw you 3 together and see how it works. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a plan or not either. I thought what they were going to do was feud them with Golden Stardust, which is still a possibility.
Yeah, it looks like that's where the direction they're
to
going.
build like a future contender for the tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea of being able to build a contender without having to job the champs in a non-title match. So that's where my head was. This could be just a sort of a one-off thing because it was the Slammies and they didn't want to have to, go through having a tag match when they could have a singles match run a little bit shorter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. So Kofi ends up getting the victory, excuse me, which takes us to the next Slammy.
Since we're talking about the tag teams, like it's tag team of the year wasn't even like announced on the show or whatever.
Yeah.
That seems like a significant enough award to be on the main
They did
show.
it online or
they
on
did
the
it on
app?
the pre-show.
Oh, pre-show.
Yeah. So the Usos end up winning that one. So and favorite couple was Daniel Bryan and Brie. So 2 years running. Good stuff. So next up, they had the Return of the Year Slammy, which was awarded to Ultimate Warrior, which is a fine choice. Rather than having someone come out to accept, they just played some, showed some pictures and video and stuff like that. So it was really good. I think it was well done. Backstage, we got to see Seth Rollins talk to Paul Heyman, sort of Heyman making it seem like Lesnar doesn't want to fight John Cena. He'd rather, someone new. I didn't really catch all of what he said, but I think that was the gist.
He was basically saying, like, we acknowledge that you're the future and we respect that you're the future, but it's not us who's standing in your way of being the future. It's John Cena.
Sort of trying to motivate him a little bit.
I take it less as him motivating Rollins and more of him saying, we'd like our chances against Rollins better, so we give him the pep talk and maybe that helps him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But the next,
I would like to see that. That's a fresh matchup.
Yeah. Although I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I don't, and I don't think they would make it too very believable. As far as like Rollins would definitely be the ultimate underdog in that match, just because
it's not gonna happen just because you'd have to babyface him.
Yeah, but you never know. So the next matchup, we got to see Charlotte from NXT come out to promote the NXT Our Evolution that's taking place this Thursday. She was going up against Natalya, so they were, obviously talking about how Charlotte is the NXT champion, and they had this great matchup not too long ago. And Natalya ends up pinning Charlotte in about 4 minutes.
Charlotte's a chatty Cathy, man.
Yeah,
she's a shit talker, but
woo!
But she was like talking shit in ways that didn't make sense to me. Like she was saying something to TJ, which didn't seem to relate to the match at all. And
hey TJ, and then okay,
I don't know.
And then she caught Natalya's leg, and Natalya like slapped her, and she's like, "Slap me again!" And she didn't, so it was weird.
She rolled her out there.
Yeah, but what do you? I mean, okay, I get it. WWE diva, NXT diva. Obviously, there's a little bit of, if you're going to be in that upper level or something, you need to win over the younger group. However, with the popularity of NXT, with the shows that they've been putting on, what are your thoughts on the NXT Divas or Women's Champion, losing to, someone who hasn't really had too many matches over the course of the last few months?
Well, has she not been appearing on NXT at all? Natasha, I'm talking about.
Natalya?
Natalia.
I don't know. I haven't been able to catch too many episodes of NXT. I know she's there obviously for Tyson, but I mean they've had their matches and stuff like that. But they obviously played to the matchup that they had not too long ago, where Charlotte ended up getting the win. So I feel okay if you're gonna.
But who's Charlotte? Charlotte's wrestling Sasha.
Sasha, yeah.
Okay, I don't have a problem with Natty going over simply because if in the hierarchy, in the kayfabe hierarchy of NXT and WWE, if she was good enough to be on the roster, then she'd be on the roster right now.
Right.
So they're saying like they're not saying she's not gonna get to the roster. She's saying right now, you're beneath this girl.
But would it help or hurt NXT to have your women's champion lose in a promotional matchup?
Well, I think that the idea is just as a promo for NXT, but I think they're afraid to put two. I just said two. Stuttered my ass off. I think they were afraid to put two NXT chicks in the ring at the same time because of the way that the audience is pretty adverse to women's wrestling. I think if they it's not like it's not like they go crazy for anybody who comes up from NXT because like what's her name?
Emma
didn't get a good reaction.
Yeah. Well, like what if they had put Emma against Charlotte and Charlotte went over?
That would have been fun. I mean,
yeah. I feel like that would have been a little bit better rather than having, your champion lose to promote the upcoming pay-per-view. Or not pay-per-view, but, I just feel like that, either change the opponent or change the outcome of the match. Or both.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get where you're coming from. I understand. To me, it didn't come off as a big deal just because I don't think they put a lot of stock in that.
Mm-hmm. So it was just sort of a, hey, here's Charlotte from NXT. Don't forget that's going to be taking place this Thursday. So, but Natalya ends up getting the victory, and Tyson Kidd decides to celebrate as well. So, did you happen to see a shirt?
It's like some weird skull thing that's made out of something. I can't tell what it is.
Cats.
Cats are the skull? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They're all. It's a cat skull. So,
wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they had the OMG moment of the year, which went to Brock Lesnar beating the streak. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Still, makes my heart skip a beat every time I watch that match. So the next up, we got to see Bray Wyatt come out and talk about how his chair was destroyed, how that was, quote, her chair. He doesn't care about the fans who are cheering for him. He hates them. And then that prompts an ambulance to come backing in with a lot of smoke, and Dean Ambrose comes out, and he's got tables and ladders and chairs, and they brawl, and Dean Ambrose says the reason why the ambulance is here is because that's the only way you're going to be leaving TLC this Sunday. So, woo, did that sell you on the matchup?
No, I thought it was like too blatant of a shill again. It was like, I don't know why he would need to ride there in an ambulance just to get some attention.
Well, I know on SmackDown they sort of played the, Bray Wyatt tried to crush his throat, and he was. I know he went
to the hospital, but I'm saying if he's good enough to leave the hospital, I don't know why he's riding an ambulance back to the.
Because he's the lunatic fringe.
It was just weird. Like it's weird. It's just a weird choice. Like, why? I don't know. Like,
I went out in an ambulance. I'm coming back in an ambulance.
He could have just angrily walked down the ramp with the neck brace on and be like, yeah, I'm out of the fucking hospital.
But he needed an easier way to transport the tables, ladders, and chairs.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about this setting up for TLC and S. Everything is like too blatant of a shield. Like every match, like, do I need Ambrose to make sure he picks up a chair, make sure he picks up a ladder, and make sure he picks up a table when he gets out?
Yes. I would have had no idea what kind of match they were having unless he did. I would have been like, what's this, a tables and ladders match? I've never seen this before.
Different. It would be different if he just had like an armful of shit that he angrily threw out or something. But he was like, I angrily threw the table. I angrily threw the chair, and I angrily threw the ladder. Like,
because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm unstable and I'm unpredictable.
like if you
I'm
wanted,
a lunatic.
if
on
you
the
needed
fringe.
to get all three in the shot, like he could have just swung the door open, kicked out the fucking table, and hopped out with a ladder and a chair in his hands. That I would have bought. But I'm dragging out
I'm
the
gonna
chair.
set up this table and
I'm
then throw it,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna bring out this ladder and throw it.
Just kick the fucking table through the door and have a ladder and a chair in your hands and start rushing the ring. I will grant you that. That's fine if you feel like you need to shill so blatantly.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's just it's
Too
just-
much hand holding
It's bad. It's bad, man. Like why?
to sell. Like, oh, by the way,
This is crazy.
it's crazy. And on the other end of that spectrum, you have Luke Harper, who's going up against Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match. Did you know they were having a ladder match?
Yeah.
Have they had any interaction with one another involving ladders?
They did something last week. I don't remember if there was a ladder involved.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had too much of a feud build for this match.
Because
but-
Harper's not much of a talker.
Well, that's true too.
And
I mean, Rowan and Big Show have had more interaction with the stairs.
yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm just like, I don't know.
He's so unstable. So, yeah.
No.
So they have a brawl, and it's
Hey, let me ask you this.
okay.
To backpedal just a little bit.
Backpedal.
If Adrian Neville comes on Raw this week to do a little promotional work for the NXT, which is the weirdest fucking name ever, like, why separate the letter out?
Because it's our evolution.
It sounds stupid.
Yeah. Instead of a revolution.
I know. I get it. Trust me, I get it. It's just stupid. Okay, so you got Neville on to promo the show. He's gonna have a match. He's the champ. He's got the belt. He's gonna wrestle someone on Raw. Now think of someone on the roster who's roughly the equivalent of Natalia.
Oh, someone who's like established but hasn't really been
Right.
in there too much. R-Truth.
I think you're being generous. Our Truth's a nice guy, but I think you're being generous to our Truth right now.
Oh. Well.
Let's say Sheamus. I'll
Okay.
say Sheamus is a roughly the Natalia of the men's. Does that seem
Okay.
fair? He's like a guy everyone thinks is like a good worker, but is not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you have a problem with Sheamus? Like, do you think that like Neville should beat Sheamus like coming up for the promo on the Thursday show? Because that would be weird. I think it'd be weird to see Sheamus do the job to Neville.
Well, that's
It'd be weird if you're debuting Neville and saying he's on the Raw roster, like you don't start him out with a loss, obviously.
right.
But you can promo him by giving him a strong showing against a guy like Sheamus without.
Well, see, it's tough because they book Sheamus so strongly. You know, he doesn't lose too often. He's considered the upper tier guy. So I pick R-Truth because he's more of the middle card type of guy.
Well, okay, there's not really a good analogy for the women's,
Right.
but I would say an upper mid carder. I think is roughly what you're looking for, which I think Sheamus embodies upper mid card guy, especially
Or-
right now.
What if we went with Swagger?
I think they're trying to. You may not buy that Natalia is but they're trying to sell you in that match. They're trying to tell you Natalia is more of a Sheamus than a Swagger.
Right. I don't know. And also you have to consider the size differentials because Neville is not the largest guy, and Sheamus
He's short, but he's kind of swole.
yeah. Whereas Sheamus is quite large, quite tall. And I mean Natalia was shorter than Charlotte, but Natalia is also a little more built than Charlotte. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's a weird thing because they're not exactly on the roster, so you do have to do it a little differently, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how would you feel if Neville came out and said, "Hey guys, we've been working really hard in NXT. Can't wait to show you what we've got on Thursday." Mark Henry comes out and just beats the shit out of him.
Well, I wouldn't book a squash. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't think they booked a squash. They just picked a short match that Charlotte didn't win.
Well, no, not even put him in a match. Just have him come out and just blast him. Like, how would you feel? I mean, preference aside, your feelings for Mark Henry. How would you feel about the NXT champion?
I mean, I like Pac, but I love Mark Henry.
Yeah. But I mean, like, how would you feel about the NXT champion going on to Raw to promote the upcoming event only to have his ass handed to him by someone else?
Well, see, I don't think that's apples to apples, because I think you're trying to say that Pac Neville coming on and getting like Henry just like fucking mauling him in a few seconds is the equivalent of what happened with Charlotte.
Well, what I'm trying to get is like, how would you feel seeing the champion of a promotion come somewhere and get beat while trying to promote something?
Depends
else?
on how it's done. I mean, like, now if you're debuting Neville as part of the roster, like he's graduated, then you don't start him off with a loss, but you also don't start him off against Mark Henry.
Right.
Now, what I'm saying is what I was proposing, and what I'm saying is if you're promoing the show and you bring Neville up to have a competitive match with Sheamus that he ultimately loses but looks good in the process, I think it's fine that he lost there, because in the kayfabe hierarchy, he's not on Sheamus's level yet.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think mostly because of the time frame is one of the problems that I have, because I saw their match that Natalya and Charlotte have, so I know what they're capable of putting on. And for them to only have like a 4-minute match that ends in a roll up, it felt weak to me.
Oh, come on, man! They got a lot of Slammies to give away.
A lot of Slammies that they could have posted like after the show or something, but I know, but I feel like due to the Slammies, it takes away a lot of focus. You
can't honestly tell me though you thought that match was going to get more time just if they didn't give Slammies away though.
I would have liked for them to have more time.
Sure, but I think it is totally like conceivable that they don't have a Slammy show and that match still goes the same amount of time.
More than likely. Either way, it was still wrong.
Sure. I
So
don't have a problem with you having a problem with how it's booked. I was just trying to give. I was devil's advocating your argument,
Yeah.
but on a better level. I don't know.
I think what you said as far as having Neville put on a competitive match, maybe
Not to a jobber though. I mean,
right? No, not a jobber. Whereas I feel like this was okay. I'm gonna get a little offense. You're gonna get a little offense, and then I'm gonna win with a roll up.
right.
Like no, there's so much better matches that they could have put on. They just give them an extra 2 or 3 minutes. Tell a little bit of a story. So, make your champion seem like she can't be beaten in 4 minutes. So, that was my biggest problem.
Yeah, I gotta beef with that.
So, and speaking of the ladies, AJ wins Diva of the Year. Congratulations. So, she didn't get that much of a response when she was making her acceptance speech saying, 3 years ago I said that I was going to change this Divas division. I still have, maybe next year we'll see some of the NXT ladies take this thing, but for now I'm still queen. So, yeah. I don't know.
Just need to do away with the Slammies.
Yeah, or do like they did, when was it, like the 90s or something? Have like a separate night for it. Hell, do it during the WWE week or something. It's like, hey, on Monday we've got Raw, on Tuesday we've got SmackDown, Wednesday we have the Slammies, on Thursday is NXT, on Friday, on Friday is the tribute to the troops. That would have been a good week. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. They could have just had an hour-long special. So, yeah, whatever. So next up, we got to see Eric Rowan going up against Luke Harper, which I feel like this match should have been a pay-per-view match with some sort of storytelling as to why they're now feuding with one another. But we don't get that.
Because they're on the opposite sides.
No,
They're on opposite sides.
it's total bullshit. They haven't given us one morsel of anything to latch on to as to why these guys would want to fight each other.
Yep. They've been set free, and now they're just on opposite sides. And hey, we should fight because of that. Why not? Because WWE logic, of course. Gotta love that.
Yes.
I don't know. But the match ends in a disqualification. And I don't really remember too much about the match.
Rowan got a lot of offense. Like,
Yeah.
Harper did a lot of selling. And I find that weird. Like, it feels like they're shotgunning Rowan when I thought they were
He's
going
Big Red!
to shotgun Harper.
Yeah. hey, he's Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
That's
but
a prestigious title in
but
the
if-
WWE.
you wag your finger at me.
Lest we forget about the importance
Like,
of
I have no
titles on WWE.
I have no
program.
problem with them getting behind Rowan. I just felt like if between those guys, the guy you're gonna like really get behind, Harper's the more talented guy.
Yeah. Good stuff. So, whatevs. After that, we got a backstage segment with Naomi and Jimmy was talking about how winning the Slammy for best tag team was the second greatest moment of his life, and Naomi asked, well, what was the first? And he said, marrying you. So, I guess winning the tag team
titles.
Yeah, winning the
he
tag
should have said
team,
it first.
that's a distant
He
third.
should have said that first. That would have been
Then you'd be like, oh, I'm just playing, baby. I'm just playing. But, it turns out Naomi actually contacted Mrs. Agent, and she's going to Hollywood, and Jimmy is none too happy about that. He's like, why don't you guys even talk to Mrs.
Did he throw
Agent?
stuff?
No, he didn't throw anything. He was just unhappy.
He usually throws stuff on Total Divas.
He was unhappy, and Naomi was like, why can't you just be supportive of me? And he's like, I am supportive of you. I want to go to Hollywood, too, and make sure that Ms.
He
doesn't
walks
do
off
anything
and said,
about
bitch, be
it."
crazy.
And so then JBL was like, oh, looks like we got trouble in paradise. So they like booking couples in trouble. So any thoughts on where they're going with this?
Nowhere good.
So
They did do a good job of and I guess they should be able to because they're couples. They're a couple, but they
They're
really
couples.
captured like the chemistry they have as a real couple on Total Divas. It was almost like they're just them being themselves, which shouldn't be hard.
which universe were we in, though?
Shouldn't be hard for them.
Clearly, we're in the WWE universe, where she's Naomi. I don't know who that Trinity lady is, but whatever. So, anyways, the funniest moment of the year goes to Damien Mizdow as being the stunt double. Miz comes out and accepts the award instead of Damien, who kind
They
of
booed him.
He kind of looked a little upset, and the fans started chanting, "We want Mizdow!" And the best thing that I liked from Miz came from this, where he was like,
I know.
"You want Miz now? You've got him!" And so I like that he at least played into it. He's turned
I
that
wonder how long he's been sitting on that one.
right. Well, I know he said it on commentary a few weeks ago, just like a little jab. They're like, "Hey, how do you feel about the fans chanting this? What, we want Miz now?" Yeah, I love it. I love that they appreciate me. It's good to know that they appreciate a star. So I like the way that he's at least building into this character and, using the Mizdow angle to help elevate himself as well. So, yeah, whatevs. After that, we got to see Rusev come out with Lana, cut a promo. Swagger comes out, cuts a promo saying, hey, you broke, Zeb's leg, and what goes around comes around, and I'm going to break your ankle. And so they brawl, and Swagger ends up getting the upper hand and latches on the Patriot lock. That's what it was, right? Yeah. And, it has to be pulled apart by the refs, and Rusev is sitting down, favoring his ankle, just looking at Swagger being held by the refs. And what do you think about this segment? I mean, I thought it was a good selling point, at least.
It's fine. It just feels like a step back because Rusev's already handily beat him.
Yes, and the fact that JBL was like, it's good to see someone stand up for America, like he completely forgot that
He hates
Swagger
him because he
let
lost.
down America,
Right.
not too long ago. Oh, you let down millions of people. Get him out of here. Whatever. I don't
We're going to give him a second chance.
So, whatevs. Next up, we got to see the Usos teaming up.
How do you feel about the way Lana is wearing her bun this week? It's a little different.
It was a little
It
different.
was a little weird. Right?
I don't know how I
It
feel
was like
about that.
it was like a bumpy bump, like bun, like a.
Yeah.
Bumpity bump.
There was like too much
There
bun
was too
action.
much. Yeah, there's too much going on.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
Too much on
weird.
her head.
Too much. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was different.
It was weird.
It was
It
like,
was.
what the fuck was that?
It's like no other bun I'd ever seen.
None whatsoever.
It's
It was fun on a bun, is what it was.
sure.
So, yeah. So after that, we got to see the Usos teaming up with Ryback, going up against Kane, Miz, and Mizdow. Doug, what do you think about this matchup?
I don't think much. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really. I don't feel like I have anything to say about any of the actual matches.
That's it.
Yeah, that was the bun.
You can't really tell from that perspective. You got to see it from the back.
Yeah. What is he doing?
He's gonna
on the
throw it?
He's gonna
ground.
slam it. He's slamming the Slammy. Oh snap!
Hey-o.
Slamception. And she's like,
What's the next picture?
That guy. Oh man, they didn't bring Daniel Bryan out, and he was dressed up in his tux.
Shit.
Wow,
Primo.
that's crazy.
Since she's heel, does that mean he's gonna be heel?
No,
Damn.
they're just not gonna acknowledge that they're together anymore. Looking fly. So yeah. So Usos and Ryback end up defeating Kane, Miz, and Mizdow. Anything to really take away from the matchup? No.
Really, none of the matches did enough to really
Sell you.
tell a story.
Mhm.
It was long enough to be good or bad. Or
Yeah. The match of the year is very surprising, I think. The fact that some of the matches that we talked about last week weren't even on here is kind of sad. But Team Cena versus Team Authority wins match of the year for WWE. I think mostly because it was the most recent and fresh on people's minds. Ziggler's speech was really nice. He seemed very humble, very out of character for him. Talking about, the reason why I joined the team for Cena's team, and the reason why we won this is because of you, the fans. I appreciate it, and that's the reason why I'm here, is to fight for you. And it was, I thought it was a really good speech. So, what do you think, Doug?
yeah, it was good.
So after that, we got to see AJ defeat Summer Rae. Really short matchup. Bird Law. Nothing really to take away from that either. Most extreme moment. We got to see RVD make a return for that one. Chris Jericho's crossbody from the steel cage onto Bray
What was
Wyatt.
the other options?
The cinder block, Dean Ambrose thing. What else? There was Rollins jump onto Evolution from their Extreme Rules match. There's one or two others I can't remember.
The kid singing around the cage for Wyatt, whatever.
Yeah.
Was that an extreme
Or no,
move?
I think that was like the OMG moment or something.
Okay,
He's got
it's a blurry fucking line between OMG and
an extreme. So, but yeah. But Jericho ends up winning that. He was not there to accept. However, he will be the host of Raw next week. So be on the lookout for that, because Raw will be Jericho. Superstar of the Year, the last Slammy that they gave away for the night. I really thought, regardless of vote tallies, they were going to give it to Seth Rollins. This has been his year. Since all the matches that he had as a member of the Shield leading up to the split, and since then he has been on his own, run. But I know heels tend not to win the Superstar of the Year since it's voted by you, the fans. But Roman Reigns wins Superstar of the Year. How do you feel about that, Doug?
I felt just fine about it because I don't take the award seriously.
Yeah, you have to book Roman Reigns strong.
Look, I mean, if there was an objective way that they did the awards, then it would be, one thing. Then we could sit here and fuss and get in a fucking throwing a fit about why Roman won. But the way they there is no objective way that they picked it. They just nudged the people towards who they wanted to win, and that's fine. I mean, if these awards had some sort of merit, then we could bitch and
They
piss
do
about
have merit. They're real.
okay.
You think it's I don't know. I feel like it may have been nudged a little bit towards Roman's direction, and for his return, they're definitely going to be booking him strong. I read one comment that said, "Well, I guess you can go ahead and put it in the books that Roman's going to be winning the Royal Rumble." I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, say what you will about the Slammies. I feel like that was Seth Rollins. It's definitely been his year, in my opinion. But Roman Reigns wins the Superstar of the Year regardless. And that takes us into the main event, a match we've never, ever seen before. The hugest main event in WWE history. Cena versus Big Show. Something that we've seen since WrestleMania 20. It was a match then, and it's a match now. We're seeing it for the 18th time, I'm guessing. short matchup, ends in a no contest after Seth Rollins comes down, breaks up the count, and then a brawl ensues with all the contenders. Ryback, Kane, Rowan, Big Show.
The ones between the teams.
Yeah, basically. Ziggler, yeah. Ends up with all the heels standing tall. They do a triple power bomb to Cena through the announce table. I don't know. I don't feel like it was enough. I mean, it was good because, hey, it's a brawl, and, don't forget TLC's this Sunday. But I feel like, 1, they only had 3 weeks. 2,
The weak show. It's the weak show.
yeah, very weak. 3, you've got distractions galore from the Slammies. So, bad timing. Like, they could have done the Slammies next week, and it would have been fine for me. I would have had no problem with that. Like, or do it, halfway between now and the Royal Rumble.
Never.
Or the end of the year show or something. Just something. Don't put it on your go-home show of a pay-per-view. That's just stupid. But whatever. That's how we closed out Raw. And now we got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks. We got to hear those picks. Because TLC and S is taking place this Sunday. Tables, ladders, and stairs, and chairs, and...
Stairs. I like that.
Yeah.
Tables,
Whatever.
ladders, and
taking place
stairs.
this Sunday. Quite a number of matches on the card this go around.
This year.
Which is good. It's better than having only 4 matches to choose from. So the kickoff match is looking like it's going to be the New Day going up against Gold and Stardust. Tyler, who do you think is going to pull this one off? They haven't announced who from the New Day is going to be fighting Gold and Stardust, but who are you going to go with?
New Day.
New Day? New Day to kick off the pay-per-view? Doug?
The New
Day.
Yeah. New Day.
New Day.
New Day.
New Day.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to pick New Day as well.
New Day.
Nude Day?
Yeah.
Oh. Nude. Hey! So, all right. All 3 of us picking New Day to win the kickoff. Tyler, go ahead and pick one of the matches that's going to be in TLCS.
Rusev versus Jack Swagger.
Rusev versus Jack Swagger for the U.S. title. No stipulation for this matchup, so it's a typical one-on-one matchup. Who are you going to pick?
Rusev.
Rusev.
Jack Swagger is going to let everyone down again.
Again? He's letting them down again the second time? I mean, the first time? Because it's the first time they've ever faced each other.
America.
Will Zeb Coulter come back?
He'll be in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. Maybe John Laurinaitis will let him borrow his scooter. Because Laurinaitis was there at Raw giving away a Slammy, and he said it's time for Big Johnny to come back. People have asked for people power. So, Doug, who are you going to go with on this one?
I'm going to take Rusev.
Rusev. I'm going to pick Rusev as well. So there you go. Rusev retains. So, all right, Doug, what's the next matchup we're going to be discussing here tonight?
Go with AJ versus Nikki.
AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. One-on-one matchup. Probably Bree's going to be in the corner. Who are you going to go with on this one?
I'm going to take Nikki.
Nikki? All right. Tyler, how about you?
I'm going with Bree.
That's not one of your options.
Sorry, Nikki.
Nikki? All right. I'm going to go with Nikki as well. So, clean sweep. Let's go into Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be a ladder match. So, not a whole lot of, confrontation between these two. However, Dolph Ziggler has been booked pretty strongly since the Survivor Series. He's that, never give up type of guy. So, who are you going to go with on this one? Doug, who are you going to go with on this one?
I'm going to take Harper.
Harper to retain. Interesting. Tyler?
You go. Still thinking.
Tyler? You're still thinking? Oh, this is actually a kind of a tough one for me. I mean, Harper could use the win, but, what are they really going to do with him afterwards? Who are they going to have him feud with? Yeah. What are you going to do with Dolph Ziggler as well? I don't know.
Pretend like they're going to push him again.
Right.
Oh.
That's very true.
You're gonna lose your title.
That's just sold me. I'm going with Luke Harper on to retain. What am I thinking? They're gonna book him strongly again.
If they were going to do something with that kid, they would have he would have been hot as hell coming off of that victory at Survivor Series.
Yep. They took him off the boiler and just set him in the freezer.
Luke Harper.
Harper? All right. Peer pressure wins once again. All right. So, Tyler, pick the next matchup. What's it going to be? What are we going to talk about here for TLC? S.
Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt.
What's probably going to be booked as the main event, if not the Cena match. Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt TLC match. So, who are you going to go with on this one?
I'm going with WWE 2K15 logic and playing. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, okay.
Because he's awesome in that game.
All right.
That means I don't know what the fuck I'm really thinking, so I'm going with that stuff.
Okay. How about you, Doug?
I'm going to take Ambrose.
Oh, now we're split. Crap. Okay.
Mine's not real logic, by the way. It's just, I'm just picking it. So
See, I don't know which way they're going to go with this. Like,
me either.
It has to be a... Yeah, that's true. I mean, there has to be a winner, right? I mean, it can't end in a...
Never.
It can't end in a disqualification.
Yes.
It can't end in a count out. It can't... I mean, there has to be a winner in this match.
There could be a power, surge or something. The power goes out.
No.
With
It
that
could
one
be
pay-per-view.
debuting new Wyatt members. I don't know.
Yeah. Screw it. I'll go Bray Wyatt. I don't know.
Both got Wyatt.
Yeah. I don't know why. So.
Fuck.
All right. So, Doug, go ahead and pick the next matchup. What are we going to talk about here? We got stairs, tag titles, chairs, and tables.
Tag titles.
Tag titles. All right. Miz and Mizdow going up against the Usos for the tag team championships. Traditional tag match at that. So, who are you going to go with on this one?
I was going to say they're going to retain.
Retain? The Miz and Mizdow, Tyler?
Going with the M&Ms.
M&M's, Miz and Mizdow. I will go with Miz and Mizdow as well. Let's go on to the next matchup. We'll do Ryback versus Kane chairs match. Not a whole lot of build to this one. Yeah. Ryback versus Kane in a chairs match. I mean, what's Kane done lately? They're obviously trying to build Ryback a little bit more. I'm going to go with Ryback on this one.
I second that.
Yeah?
Feed me more.
Feed me more. Ryback.
Yeah,
all right.
feed
Clean
me
sweep for
whores.
Ryback. So, Doug, not Doug, Tyler, we got 2 matches remaining. What's it going to be?
An illogical 2 matches remaining.
Eric Rowan versus Big Show. If I picked the Cena versus Rollins, they would get pissed. So, Eric Rowan and Big Show.
In a stairs match.
In a
The very
stairs match.
first stairs match. So, I'm curious as to what the stipulation is on this one. I mean, obviously, you can use the stairs. Is it?
That's it.
The first person to place the stairs in the middle of the ring and climb to the top is the winner.
No, just stairs are legal.
Just okay. So okay. So who are you gonna go with on this one to win?
Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan? Questioning.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Doug?
I'm gonna take a Rowan too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rowan as well. Looks like they're
Row,
building him.
row your boat.
Yeah. So.
He does play classical guitar, and
Yeah. He solved that Rubik's
his IQ
pretty
is like
fast.
super duper high.
Super duper.
I hate bullies.
And he does hate bullies. That is true. So
Bullies.
more than enough reason than someone who makes a
Dude, this
mistake
guy's a
and
genius.
doesn't be forgiven. So all right, well that'll take us into the final matchup: John Cena versus Seth Rollins in a tables match. If John Cena loses, he loses his #1 contendership. No. So who's gonna win this one? Tyler.
Who's gonna win this one? Cena.
Cena. All right, Doug.
Cena.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll.
Pick Rollins.
No, I'm going to pick Cena as well. So there you go. So those are predictions for TLCS. Let us know what you think about it.
You
in
think it would
the
be smarter to
comments.
book Rollins against him?
No, I think the booking is stupid because would they really do that? Would they really take away
You
the
never
Rollins
know.
contendership for Cena?
You never
No,
know.
because it would be bad booking.
Yes.
Book
it's
that
stupid.
shit.
Anyways, those are some great picks.
Those are some great picks.
Those are some great picks. This is going to be stupid.
You guys sound like a bunch of assholes. Well, let's do it again and have a little fucking heart.
Those were some great picks.
Those are some great picks.
Those are some great dicks. you say dicks?
No.
Just making sure.
He thought it.
Yeah. So time to move into the hot topics. Hot topic news for you guys. If you haven't heard us talk about it enough tonight, NXT Our Evolution is going to be taking place this Thursday on the WWE Network. So if you have
us.
if you have access to the network, make sure you check that out. It's going to be a great show. Sami Zayn going up against Neville for the title. Should be an all-star matchup. So for those of you in the Houston area, make sure to head on out to Booker T's ROW Christmas Chaos. Going to be taking place this Saturday. So you're going to just have wrestling all week long. You got
yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with that
you
show.
got NXT on Thursday. You've got SmackDown on Friday, Booker T show on Saturday, and TLC on Sunday. So special guest at Christmas Chaos, the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Guys for Pro Wrestling Syndicate.
Yeah.
There. Crossing over to ROW.
Those should be really cool. So, yeah, going to be good stuff. Other bit of hot topic news for those of you who may have heard about the 40-man Royal Rumble returning. Apparently, WWE has nixed those plans. That's going to be sticking to 30-man Royal Rumble this coming year. So, I was kind of hoping that it would do 40 again. I like that.
Do
So,
42.
It gives the people who want to return an open space as opposed to, well, let's take someone else's space. So, but whatever. So, in WWE 2K15 news, do not, under any circumstances, create and upload Chris Benoit. People have been doing this, scanning his face, putting it on created characters, and getting banned for this.
Or you're going to jail.
Or you're what?
Going to jail.
Why are they going to jail?
Bitch.
I don't know.
Oh, well, your online services may be banned if you do something like that. So if you have the character, don't upload it. Just keep it on your own system. So yeah.
And also they just released a patch with like a lot of stuff that's been messing up for 2K15. They're trying to fix. So
well, that's good. They need to do stuff like that. So for those of you who have not heard, been living under a rock or something like that, CM.Punk has officially signed with UFC to a multi-fight deal. And I know a lot of people have been complaining, oh, well, if he was complaining that, you know, he's fragile and was going to get hurt, he was being hurt by Ryback, how's he going to fare in the UFC? You have to consider that in the WWE, they take punishment like 5 nights a week, whereas in the UFC, they have like one fight, and then they have several months after that to prepare for another fight. So, and CM.Punk has had time to heal. So that's just a quick argument for people who have been saying stuff like that.
UFC fighters or fans that don't like wrestling or wrestlers that come into UFC, right?
Well, the purists don't. The purists. I mean, feels like a lot of people like who were like super rah-rah Punk last week, like flipped on him this week. Was that your experience?
Yes.
A lot?
Like, dude, I have so much more respect for Punk now. Oh, this guy's a wuss. He's not going to last 10 seconds in the octagon.
I mean, the people who were cheering him on last week are like, I can't wait to see him get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
You think anyone wants a roundhouse kick to the face?
From what I read, though, so there's not a lot of people that come into UFC that doesn't really have a fight under the belt, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
So this is just
at the very least, they usually have some like amateur fights, and then they go through the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, and then I also read something about, I think Dana White or someone said they're gonna try to get someone that's close to his record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to try and do a 0-0.
Which that also brings in. There's been a petition.
He's a jobber.
About they want a lot of people are like bring Jason David Franken.
Well, he doesn't have a 0-0 record though.
But it was like they said what 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, something like that.
But there's a little petition thing going on.
Well, Jason David Frank's been petitioning that for
a while.
A couple of years now. He's been like, I want to wrestle. He was like, I don't care what it is. I would like to face you. You know, it's not a
I thought it was just a fight. I thought he wanted to fight.
He would like to fight.
Wrestle.
He was like, if wrestling is all that I could get, I would take it. He was like, if you wanted you and me at WrestleMania, let's do it. He was like, I want to get, you know, in the ring of some kind with you, and see how we fare.
So a couple of things about this is that a lot of people, for people like you said that were mentioning that, oh well, if he's complaining about Ryback then how is it going to fare in a legitimate fight? Well, it's different because in pro wrestling, you are working together, presumably as safe as possible without hurting each other, or you're going to get bumped around, but to create a show, you're not legitimately fighting each other. So
not to mention you're working with someone who's 80 pounds heavier than you are and has much more muscle mass.
Sure, and it's not that it's not just that Punk said, well, he was rough. Like Punk was saying that he like legitimately took like shots at him, like he was trying to hurt him. Like he
felt it was intentional.
Right. So there's a difference between going into a match where you assume that the goal is to work together to put on a show, and then a difference of, well, if we're in a fight and if he's going to hurt me and I'm going to hurt him back, there's a different mindset there. So just because he had some complaints as to like if Ryback was reckless or not, then or took liberties with him, that's different than going into a fight knowing you're going to get hurt and knowing you're going to hurt the other guy.
Right.
So
whereas before Cena or CM Punk may have been holding back,
sure,
and Ryback is laying into him, but now it's like, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into on this one.
Sure.
And it's someone of the same weight class.
Sure. I mean, so I know a lot of people are talking about like, well, isn't Punk doing what he complained that the other guys were doing, like a part-time guy coming in to take the work of guys who should be there or should be on the spot, like roster guys, like taking their spot on the card, like he felt was taken from him on the card. And from all the indications, like Daniel said, he signed a multi-fight deal. So he's been quoted as saying that this is his profession now.
Yeah.
He's taking it seriously.
He's saying, now or never in my life do I want to try this.
Sure. He's got a multi-fight deal. He's fighting more than once. And the thing about that is that because of how MMA is regulated, they only fight a couple of times a year. So that a multi-fight deal is a full-time schedule.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he signed on for 6 fights. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he said.
I didn't read that, but I know that it's a multi-fight deal, which is a full-time schedule because guys fight 2, maybe 3 times max a year. Like, probably 2. Like,
that'd give him, either 4 to 6 months to train, depending on when the fight is.
Well, it's recovery. It's like
that too.
they quote unquote suspend guys after fights depending on how they're banged up. They say like, this is going to take you how long to heal. Like you can't fight for this long.
Yeah. Instead of, hey, we need you in Detroit next week to do it again.
And also, I read online or maybe one of the guys who commented on there was like, well, after a fight, say if he got banged up, Dana White, and then we'll take care of him more than Vince McMahon would.
Yeah.
That's what I read someone saying.
And all these people also, I think there's a lot of people like, I can't wait to see him fight because he's going to get his fucking ass whooped in the first fight. And I think if you think CM Punk's going to lose his first fight, I don't think you understand how promoting fights work in the least. Dana White is bringing CM Punk in, because the UFC has had a really down year. A lot of their big names are gone, are out or out indefinitely. Like Silva was out all year. GSP's been gone. Their top draws have been gone. They're having a down year. CM Punk they're looking at him as a draw. They're looking at him as someone who's going to move the needle. And that says a lot about.
And with the fire that was lit due to the podcast, with his appearance on that and the exposure that it brought, like, what better way to bring him in?
Look, CM Punk is going to bring pro wrestling fans that want to continue to follow his career with him to the UFC. Those people are going to pay to watch him fight. And the MMA purists who want him to lose are also going to pay to watch him lose. So he's going to draw on both sides. Now, people who are like, blah, 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 Punk's going to get his ass whooped, talking about the Ryback stuff, you don't understand how promoting fights works. This is an investment for the UFC, and he's going to be booked in fights that he can win for the first couple of fights. I'll make a prediction now that he wins at least his first 2 fights. At least his first 2 fights he'll win. Because, and it's not that it's a work or anything, it's that they know that he's a draw, but for him to be a draw, he's got to win a couple to get in a quote-unquote real fight with somebody.
Right.
That So they're going to put him in
Work
guys.
your way up the ladder.
Sure, they're going to put him in there with guys it is possible that Punk could lose his first fight because anybody could beat, but
all it takes is one hit.
Sure, but the intention is that Punk's going to win his first couple of fights. Then he's going to get into a war of words with someone else, and they're going to talk their way into a big fight. Like,
I can't wait for that.
Punk's going to run his mouth, and
can you imagine Punk being unleashed on live pay-per-view?
I mean, like, you guys know that Chael Sonnen and CM Punk were buddies. I don't know. I mean, come on, guys. Like, the light bulb should go off like that. Like, you know, I think Punk was in his ear a lot of the time, and like Chael Sonnen, like, how many fucking big fights did he talk himself into? Like a fucking lot, because he always runs off. Punk's gonna fucking draw. Punk's gonna win his first. He's gonna at least get one big fucking fight, and they're gonna see if he's really gonna draw or not. And
yep. And you know that first pay-per-view that he's gonna be in, there's gonna be a jump in buy rate.
Well, see, I don't know that that's a test or not. I think the first quote-unquote real fight, the first, like, money fight I think he's in, I think that's when you know if he's going to draw or not.
That too.
But,
I think a lot of people are going to tune in just to see his first fight, just to see, let's see how he can do, you know.
They've seen different articles online about all this stuff. This is, I can't repeat everything. It's on top of my head, but there's like, this is 5 reasons why CM Punk will not succeed or something like that. And one of them was like about, what did he say? He trained her, or he's training her, Gracie.
Yeah, he's
right
training for several years.
He goes, that doesn't. One guy's like, I don't know about this. Okay, he's like, that doesn't mean nothing these days. The Gracie's families are hit and miss with certain family members, and like, I don't know. That's,
well, the thing about mixed martial arts these days is that specialists don't fare very well. Like the game is like gravitated towards like you have to be a well-rounded fighter. You have to be pretty good in like everything to like, succeed. Now that's a knock against Punk because as far as I know, he's trained some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I've heard people talk about Muay Thai, but I don't know how legit he's trained.
There was some other thing that he trained in. That I don't.
Well, they used to always say Kempo karate whenever he was like wrestling, but I always thought that was sort of a work thing. It's like maybe he took karate when he was a kid or something, and they like put that as part of like his whatever. But I don't know. Punk could totally lose. Like, I mean, he could lose his first fucking fight for sure. He could, but
he could go for a kick and slip, and someone brings the hand down.
But I don't think that he would. And I like sort of like what's so weird to me is like the people last week who were so like CM Punk is the best thing ever are now like, I hope he gets his fucking ass whooped. You know what? I hope he kicks fucking ass.
Yep.
I'll buy the fights. I'll watch the fights. I hope he does really well for himself.
We can go to Buffalo Wild Wings that night or something and
sure.
watch it.
I know that like
we'll wear Punk shirts or something.
All the UFC is like, get out of here. All UFC guys,
get that fake crap out of here. Well, that fake crap just kicked your dude's ass.
And I know some people, and probably even myself, have talked about guys like The Rock, like leaving pro wrestling and going on. To me, it's not about you can't have other interests.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I don't care about like I'm going to gravitate towards someone whose other interests I'm going to want to follow. Like I'm probably a bigger Dave Bautista fan now than I ever was whenever he was like I've never been a humongous fan of Batista the wrestler, but I sort of love his acting career that he's carved out for himself because he picks all roles that I think are kick-ass and that I want to see him in.
Brass body and
Drax the Destroyer. He's going to be in the new Bond flick.
Yes.
I mean, that's fucking cool roles.
That's huge.
I mean, like The Rock, I don't give as many of The Rock's movies as I would want to see, an equal amount I don't want to see. Like
right.
Rock's trying to be the biggest like guy in Hollywood, and I have no interest.
He's just taking whatever is thrown his way.
He just wants to be a huge star.
Yeah.
And like I don't care.
Whereas
I don't give
Batista's
behind
like building some credit.
And like I mean,
I was in the highest grossing film of the summer of the year. I was in, this movie. I'm going to be in a Bond film.
You can probably argue that Batista doesn't have the acting chops to get the roles that and that's probably true to a certain extent, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care how good of an actor Batista is because I just like the roles that he picks.
Yeah.
What he's signed on for, like every movie that he's been in, I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking see that.
He was the strong guy, but he was the funny guy.
Yeah.
But
Like, I don't want to see fucking Tooth Fairy with a rock or whatever bullshit he's going to be in. Like, I don't care.
He's going to be in a DC movie, though.
Flash that $1 million smile all you want.
Yeah, and I'll go fucking see it. I'll see The Rock as Black Adam. That's fucking cool. But I don't. But as many of movies I want to see of him, I don't want to see as equal as many that he's in.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. And like, I don't know. I just think it's I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah. Is that yours?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whose that is.
That's weird.
It was here when we got here.
Yours? Okay. No. Okay. So yeah. So be on the lookout for CM Punk. I'm not sure when they said his first fight will be, but be on the lookout for it. Should be pretty interesting. So so yeah, and like Doug said, Batista will be in the next Bond film, Spectre, which is gonna be pretty badass. It's going to be badass. So next week is WWE week. It's going to have live SmackDown, tribute to the troops, all that good stuff. So be on the lookout. I think we'll just record the episode as regularly scheduled, unless you guys want to push it to Wednesday so we can watch SmackDown. But we'll discuss that a little bit later. Other news, if you did not catch it on the podcast Facebook page or on the WrestlingNewsSource.com Facebook page, we're going to be joined by Jeff Jarrett, founder of Global Force Wrestling. Here in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording the interview coming up next week. So if you have any questions for Mr. Jarrett involving Wrestle Kingdom 9 or Global Force Wrestling, make sure to post that on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. So make sure you go there for that. There'll be a little picture that says post your comments and questions here. And we'll try. I know our time is going to be limited with him, so we'll try and get those questions asked. So yeah, let us know. So time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Saying, good evening, chaps. I'm unashamedly procrastinating from filling out my resume for applying for some part-time work in a game store over the Christmas holidays. Yeah, go for it. It's not the most glamorous of jobs, but it's something in this time off. My question to you is, if you had a single opportunity to buy anything, money, no object, what would it be and why?
Wow. Okay.
So if there was one item, one thing in the entire world that could be yours, Mr. Tyler Abear. Money is no object. You're handed a blank check, put whatever amount it is, and it's yours.
There's one thing I would like, because it will give me the option to get more things I would like. It's actually
a legal money printing press.
Sure. No, the most badass comic book shop in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that.
Would it just be comic shop?
I mean, once I buy it, I would add more things to it. You know.
Okay, but no. Instead of adding things to it, just go ahead and have it.
Okay.
What would it be? Like, would you? My suggestion to
it would
you
just be collectibles.
My suggestion to you would be comic book store, collectible store together, obviously, with a movie area, so you could have a movie night with friends and family and other patrons who wanted to watch stuff, and you could also stream pay-per-views and whatnot.
Space.
Computer area, laser tag, upstairs, of course. You know,
2-story. Shit, I like
why
that.
not?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got a point.
Money is no option for this.
Yes, that's true.
You can
Very
have
true.
whatever you want. Hell, you could have go-karts going on the third floor of this building.
4th floor. Is
You
a
could
porn
be
shop?
be a modern Dave and Buster's kind of store. It'd be Abear's store.
Abear
Yeah.
extravaganza.
So,
Yeah, sure. I like the idea.
well, you tell me.
I booked it. Okay.
Okay,
Thomas,
so
when are you gonna give me that money?
So you would have, comics and collectibles, movie theater area.
I don't know about go-karts, but just laser
gaming
tag.
area,
Yeah, arcade,
and then second store or second floor would be laser tag.
Sure. Yeah.
Third floor vacant, since we're taking out go-karts, and then fourth floor, as you said, sex store.
Sex store. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex
You
store.
sell a bunch of sex toys and collectibles there. Okay. Doug,
Yeah,
how
they're
about
both
you?
panties.
If you had one single opportunity to buy anything with money being no object, what would it be?
Well, I'm not a fancy man. I mean, I
A
would
Jack in the
like.
Box
man.
gift card with no.
I mean, if I could buy one thing, no cash limit, I would just buy a reasonably nice house. I don't need anything too fancy.
God,
I would
stealing
just-
my answer.
I just would like to live mortgage free.
Yeah.
I want to be debt free. I don't want to.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That'd be good. And have money to have it fully paid off and maybe a little bit of extra cash on the side for bills and more.
Well, if I'm not paying a fucking mortgage, I'm probably gonna have some cash to throw around.
Cool. I agree with you. I would like to have something like that. I would like to have a fully paid off house. Maybe a 2-floor with a little movie theater so all my buddies could come over and we could, do either gaming or watch, no, not porn. What is with you and like adult stuff right now?
I keep on throwing
More porn.
I think it's funny.
So, and maybe a pool and a
He's
nice.
trying to proposition us to a circle, Jerry.
I think he's trying. You stay on that side.
Come here.
So,
Get
so
over
thank
here.
you very much, Thomas, and sorry that took an adult turn.
job,
Hey,
Joe.
man, if you can work in a game store, do it. I would recommend it. I mean,
It's hard to get a fucking job at a game store.
it is. I would recommend it if you can. A lot of the people who work there get some pretty sweet swag. They get to play video games for free and get all the latest details on upcoming games. So, why not?
You're not gonna get very many hours.
No, but I mean, it's
It's
something.
gonna be hard as fuck to try and get a job there too.
Yeah. So there you go. Next question coming
So
to
let
us.
me bum you out.
Next question coming to us from Parker saying, "Hey guys, I want to go to a local indie show. Do you have any good tips to find one, and any good tips for when I get to one?"
Here's the thing about independent promotions. Most of them fucking suck at like getting the word out about themselves.
Yeah.
Check on the internet.
Yeah. Use the internet, or surprisingly enough, like so the independent companies around here like actually flyer and stuff. So
Yeah.
I did like learn of independent wrestling in our area through like their work of promotion. So as stereotypical as it is to say that independent wrestling, smaller independent wrestling does not promote, actually the people in our area do actually promote themselves, and that's how I found out about them. So but more than likely the guys in your area are not doing a good job of promoting themselves.
Yeah.
So I would say Facebook. Facebook seems to be the new way of promoting pro wrestling. You'll probably, if you friend some independent wrestlers in your area, you'll probably get invited to all the shows they have.
Yeah.
They'll probably just send
Hey,
you an
dude,
invite.
come and cheer me or come and boo me.
Well, they'll just send you invites to the shows, like
That
as
too.
events or whatever. But if you don't know how to find like local independent wrestlers, I don't know what to tell you.
Also, check YouTube. Just search wrestling and then the city that you're in, and something might pop up. Because a lot of people will upload little promo videos. This Sunday at such and such at blah blah blah. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Thing about independent wrestling is
It's hit and miss.
even the bigger independent companies aren't the best at like utilizing the internet and utilizing like promoting for themselves. And like the smaller guys in your area are probably the absolute shits at it.
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of go out of your way to find a company to go to
Yeah.
on that level.
Um,
You have to fucking look.
Yeah.
there's pros and cons to indie shows. I mean, I think it's fun though. You're gonna have when you go, there's times where there's people that are gonna be just horrible wrestlers and stuff, but it's you can't compare it to WWE. You just can't,
Yeah.
But it's still fun nonetheless. I like going and seeing kids there, and kids are like, maybe with their parents or their dad, and and they're like asking questions like, "Oh no, I can't believe you did that. Why do you do that?" And then they're just like, you see their face and they're into it, and it just seems really cool. And then if you get into it and just because it's more of an intimate atmosphere compared to a bigger arena, so you can sit closer to the ring, you can boo them, and they can they'll get in your face too, and so it's just fun.
One tip that I would have is try not to be the show.
Yeah.
Clap, boo, cheer, chant "you suck" or whatever.
Don't try not to be. You are not the show.
Yeah.
Period.
Always remember that. But you can try and get the slow clap going or something like that. Maybe a couple people around you will join in.
Yes, participate in the crowd.
Participate, but
you are not the show.
Don't be the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yes, you paid your money. Yes, you can chant whatever you want. Yes, you can say what you want.
Yes, I will still want to kill you if you're obnoxious. Because I paid my fucking money too.
I remember one of the shows we went to, and there's a guy who wrestled, and his dad was there, and he was just saying horrible stuff, and there was kids around and stuff, and it's like everyone was just looking at him, and it's like, you're disrupting this, this flow, and just shut the hell up.
Yep. So go have a good time. See if you can find one that's not too far away. And, if you get the chance, if they have like a little meet and greet with some of the local stars, talk to them, be like, hey, where do you normally go? Where, ask some of the talent, because they obviously come from somewhere and they're obviously going somewhere else. So that would probably be the best bet, either after the show or sometimes they'll have intermission and say, hey, come on out and meet some of the guys and get autographs and stuff. So that would be our advice for you. So good luck finding one. Hope one comes up in your area.
Did you say where you live?
I did not. So if you want to contribute to that, and we can maybe see who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone.
If you want to disclose where you live to us, then we might be able to help you.
Not address, but city.
Yeah, general area.
City, state, or
yeah.
county, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
City.
Yeah.
State, for sure.
If in America.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not in America, we probably not.
We're probably not going to be too much help, but we'll do what we can. So final bit coming to us from Trish saying, hey guys, if I wasn't famous before, I certainly am now. Just kidding. I've been following the page on Facebook for a while now, and I listened to a podcast after the Shield broke up and fell off for a few months and started back up again at the car crash show, so about 13 episodes. So I don't know if that makes me new or not, but anyways, a bit of feedback and a question if I could. I understand completely about the feeling that WWE could do better. They can, especially with the subtle booking. Secondly, I'm all about CM Punk voicing his opinions, which I believe holds some merit, but did he have to take Ryback down with him? That altered the course of his push for sure now. It altered the course of his push for sure. Now, he said it himself in a different way. That's an emotional guy, but he can take a hit money-wise. Others can't. So they're silent about what's going on, if anything. That's why he's the one leading this charge. He can afford to walk away and become a whistleblower for certain things. By being that petty to drag Ryback, he almost cuts the legs out from under himself. I want to believe him, but he's coming off a pinch childish. And I'm not even a Ryback fan. He is further alienating himself, which is cool. But what about AJ? If WWE has petty eyes, as he said, anything could happen. I like him, but I just think speaking up while she's still around to have it blow back on her, and also stunting Ryback's push and blowing off Y2J is a bit much and hurts his cause. Even if he has one. There's a reason the WWE is going to change your name, change your style, and or give you a new gimmick. Aside from the trademarks and stuff like that, it's a psychological thing. They let CM Punk keep his name and most of the moveset, and by doing so, created a monster, so to speak. That's powerful and creates entitlement. They've learned their lesson, and they're changing names and movesets, and they will never let anyone unchanged because of this ruckus. Enter unchanged because of this ruckus Punk has caused. Kevin Owens, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Adrian Neville are examples of that. Did I overthink it? I'm a female, so I very well may have, as sometimes we can, but I'm convinced it has legs. Thoughts? Love the show, and thanks for not taking me calling you guys jaded the wrong way. Well wishes.
Well, that's a lot. I'll try to remember to address everything. As far as the Ryback stuff, I don't see what obligation Punk has to protect the Ryback. Mm-hmm. And even if he thought he might have, if he's considered Ryback to try to hurt him on purpose, why would he uphold the obligation anyway? He doesn't give a fuck what happens to Ryback.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fine position to have if you are convinced that Ryback took liberties with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the flip side of that to the WWE is I don't think that sways what happens to Ryback. I don't think the WWE gives a flying fuck what Punk had to say about Ryback. Sure, they didn't want him out there saying all that stuff, but it's not going to change how they book Ryback.
Right.
They're still going to put him on the path that he was on, if any.
If they want to be the top guy, they're going to make him the top
Sure,
guy.
regardless of what Punk had to say about him. Now, as far as the other talent's reaction to Ryback, all those guys on that roster have wrestled Ryback on their own, so they're there to make up their own mind if Ryback is reckless or not. So I fail to see how it really affects Ryback in any sense. I don't think it can.
Yeah.
As far as how it affects AJ, do I think it's possible that they would be petty? Yeah, I don't think it's above the WWE to be petty or to take stuff out on AJ because of Punk. However, as soon as she returned from her leave of getting married and her honeymoon, they put the title back on her. She was feuding with Paige, who was sort of presented as the top woman in her absence.
Yeah.
She just got a Slammy. That doesn't mean much, but they wouldn't have presented her as an option to vote on if they didn't want.
Right.
She's not being buried, is my point.
Right.
Now
it seems like they're keeping, her professional life and her private life separate, which is good for her.
Sure. I mean, for all we know, she could have went and said, "Hey, whatever's going on with Punk is whatever's going on with Punk. I'm still here to work." We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that very well could be the issue.
I'm not sure it matters because if they are just if they're just resisting the fact to be petty, or if she pleaded with them. I'm not sure it matters because the bottom line is that she has not been buried.
Right.
So why does it really matter that much, right? Because she hasn't been.
Yeah.
As far as this new crop of guys not getting to keep their names or their movesets, well,
that's for licensing stuff.
Yeah, that's for licensing stuff and
merchandise sales.
Punk was a special case, probably because of Heyman. And he switched his moveset up a lot too when he came. He didn't do a lot of this stuff.
Pepsi plunge.
Yeah, that was sort of for his knees, but still. But
it's in the game.
Yeah, as far as it's not just this new crop of guys. I mean, Dean O'Brien, Dean Ambrose, all those guys changed their name right after him before the Punk stuff ever happened. And all those guys have shifted the way they work. They don't take move sets or moves away from guys because they are entitled to get to keep them, or they view it as entitlement to get to keep them. They change the move sets of guys because the style is different.
Yeah.
And all those guys have elements of their former styles mixed with the WWE style, and that's just how they do things. So none of that is because of Punk. Is she say something else that we may have missed?
Yeah, that's about it. I think that pretty much covered the most of it. But as far as the name thing goes, that's just to protect the wrestler as well. Because I know Balls Mahoney had a huge lawsuit issue or legal matters as far as names, because he signed the name over to the WWE, and then whenever he left the WWE, he wanted to continue using the name, but they were like, no, we own the rights to Balls Mahoney now, the name. So you're gonna have to come up with something else.
Yeah. And
so that's one of the reasons why whenever they enter the WWE, they change the name.
I don't think it's for the protection of the guys. I think it's so they can maximize their profit.
Right. On that name.
Sure.
So because you don't want to see, you don't want to say,
because if you own your own name, then they can't profit off it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, thank you very much for the comments. We certainly do appreciate it. Submit your comments. Check it out. Leave them on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast, our YouTube page, WNS Video. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes if it's working by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're also on Stitcher, Player.fm, and Beyond Pod. Just search Wrestling News Source
Podcast.
What was that last one? Beyond Pod.
Hey!
We're Beyond the Pod.
Beyond the Pod.
Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Beyond Podcast.
Follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel is at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Abear. These fuckers have been doing some Twitch shit. I think it's twitch.tv/WNS Podcast.
That is correct, sir. So there you go. Make sure to follow us on all that good stuff. Fun times, happy times. So for podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.
Have y'all seen the Pegasus?